Welcome to a new episode of TTG Conversations 5 Questions video series. This episode will look at how health and safety needs today are impacting the way business events are conducted in hotel venues. Giving us insight on this topic is Royston Lim, Vice President Global Sales with Pan Pacific Hotels Group. Based in Singapore, Royston is an experienced hotelier who has been in the hospitality industry for more than 20 years. He has been through several global sagas, including 9/11, SARS, the GFC, and H1N1 swine flu. That's quite a badges of honor, huh, Royston?
Yes.
He has left footprints in some of the world's most recognized hotel companies and brands, such as Accor, Fairmont Raffles Hotels International, and the Ritz-Carlton. It's great having you on this series, Royston.
Thank you, Karen. I'm happy to be on this series. Thank you.
I've got 5 questions, and here's the first for you. With the exception of China, which is seeing a return of large-scale face-to-face business events, what is the state of face-to-face event recovery in other parts of Asia, particularly in the business hubs?
We are seeing some positive signs of return to face-to-face meetings, events in some countries. Of course, we know normalcy is not returning, but it is a welcoming sign for the industry. Right? So leads are coming in for certain countries like in Asia, like Singapore, Malaysia, in fact Australia too, where the hotel group has a relatively big presence in. So one notable breakthrough would be the Singapore market with the trialing of MICE events of up to 250 persons, and the recent announcement of the resumption of in-person work-related events that are allowed to take place at third-party venues up to 50 persons. This is definitely a good news for us and everyone in the industry. Right, face-to-face business events currently are still domestically driven due to the restrictions to air travel. Hence, meeting leads in the pipeline are generally for the longer lead time, not so much for those on shorter lead time due to the uncertainty of the situation. In the instance of our properties in Malaysia, we are seeing an uptick in the public sector for face-to-face meetings. However, with the movement control order in place in cities like KL, Selangor, it has definitely impacted our properties. The upcoming travel revive by ITB Asia, Singapore Tourism Board, will certainly be a milestone for the industry in November. With the piloting of the new safety measures for MICE industry, we can look forward to more of such opportunities in the future. Even though some parts of Asia have opened up, the situation is still very much fluid, with sentiments being cautious. There is still a risk of in-person meetings and events will be disallowed or discouraged should situations not stabilize. So for our hotels, with Pan Pacific has program to ensure safe, clean stays, meetings with strict hygiene guidelines and social distancing protocols are required by WHO and respective local government authorities.
It has been observed that health and safety requirements are now the top of the fulfillment list for event organizers. So how are these health, safety and hygiene protocols impacting the way face-to-face events are conducted in hotel venues now and in the near term?
Well, the pandemic is changing the way we live. It does not matter if you're residing in Singapore or China, Australia or Europe. The safety and well-being of our guests remains our highest priority. This is why business events are evolving and venue providers are adapting to these measures to cater to the needs of event organizers. What we foresee is that face-to-face business events will return, but with elevated hygiene and safety measures with guidelines in place. And even in the near term, these hygiene protocols and safe distancing measures are here to stay. Virtual meetings have also become an interim solution to the pandemic as it connects people without the need to travel miles and miles across the globe. But we know nothing can replace face-to-face interaction. Right? With technology, while great, certainly cannot replace those direct human connections. What we do feel is that hybridization seems to be the way forward. It offers the balance between having some form of face-to-face interaction with a limited amount of people attending while being mindful of the hygiene protocols and measures. At the same time, it reached out to a bigger audience via technology. Companies have also a certain duty of care to their staff as well as business partners. In the case of Singapore, SG Clean certification plays an important role when it comes to booking event venues by the organizers. So they're looking for peace of mind. So on top of that, of being SG Clean certified in Singapore, companies are also looking at what enhanced safety and hygiene measures that the event venues are providing. So for us at Pan Pacific Hotels Group, we have rolled out Pan Pacific Cares program to our hotels and properties globally.
Okay. Besides the health and safety needs, what other organizer and attendee preferences have emerged?
One of the preferences that we've seen would be for larger rooms, so that safe distancing measures can be maintained. In the past, organizers do prefer rooms with natural daylight, and even more so now. This is actually due to the fact that such events will no longer allow intermingling or side activities. So while being cooped up in a meeting room all day, you want to have natural daylight, which is very welcome. So in the past, also coffee breaks would always have a beautiful display of chefs' creations. So, however, everything is plated now and served by the banquet team. And there are also expectations that the presentation of the plated coffee break items is not compromised. Right? But we are glad that event organizers and attendees do appreciate and understand why food items have to be individually plated. Right? In terms of food, both event organizers and attendees are looking at more health-conscious food items as well. In recent years, there has always been a trend in healthy eating, but even more so now in this new normal. Hence, our hotels make the conscious effort to cater to these demands. We look at food items that are low sugar, less oil, vegetarian options, and even gluten-free options. There are also discerning attendees who are environmentally conscious. They seek meeting venues that are making an effort to reduce the event's eco footprint. At Pan Pacific Hotels Group, we have implemented green meeting initiatives such as plastic-free policy for meetings. We're also moving ahead strongly with sustainable minds, including serving food that are sustainably farmed and carbon offset meetings.
That's great. So what do these new preferences mean to hotels with event venues to offer? Will we expect to see, like new event package components or conditions in contracts, or perhaps even a reconfiguration of type of spaces made available for events?
All this has actually led us to launch Easy Meet, a virtual meeting service that promises to take care of all your nitty-gritty details, so the professionals may conduct their virtual meetings with peace of mind. Easy Meet allows corporations to hold virtual meetings with clients as our hotels organize the necessary coffee break items and lunch, and also the meeting amenities, including writing pads, pens, mints, and even printed material, agenda, and presentations to be sent to the client's homes or locations. So also with social distancing in place, hybrid meetings will be a norm where companies hold meetings at different function rooms within the hotel or even across different hotels. We are very blessed. We have a portfolio of 8 hotels in Singapore, so we can actually hold meetings across the 8 hotels for the same meeting, and even across borders where we have properties across 29 locations. So we could have an event in, let's say, Malaysia, but also linking in with the meeting here in Singapore. We work with technology providers so that we can harness use of technology to live stream client events to participants from wherever they are, their office, homes, separate breakout rooms, in hotel or across multiple hotels.
Okay. The poor economic performance and outlook are impacting corporate budgets. As event budgets shrink, would luxury hotels have to resort to price wars to get corporate buyers on board, in the recovery stage? How do you expect hotel competition for MICE business to look in the near term?
Well, I wouldn't call it a price war per se, but rather rational pricing. There are some costs that are fixed, like technology services and manpower, that would not be possible to bring down the prices too much. With virtual or hybrid meetings, technological infrastructure is critical. So depending on the complexity of the event and how robust the client wants it to be, we are looking at more advanced technology infrastructure to support it and more manpower with the expertise to run those events. In the near term, we are building up our capabilities in the areas of virtual and hybrid meetings to support large-scale events. The advantage we have as a hotel group is having a good mix of hotels in Singapore. We are well distributed with the brands, which includes Pan Pacific, Park Royal Collection, Park Royal, to suit the varying requirements of the clients. Clients also are very savvy. They look for value proposition. So it is critical for us to ensure that we keep our service and product quality high. We focus on training also and reskilling and upskilling our associates through this season to ensure that they upkeep the signature of sincerity in service. Having a true service mindset also helps provide the solution and deliver our best service. When the industry picks up and events start to return, we're also ready to welcome our guests.
That's wonderful. And that's all the 5 questions I have for you, Royston. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you, Karen. So happy to be here. Thank you.
If there are topics you'd like us to address in future episodes, please just leave your comments below. Thank you, everyone, and take care and stay safe. Goodbye.